Nutcracker podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Global Nutcracker. Today with me, I have Rosane from ITR Tech Group. Welcome, Rosane. How are you
Thank you
today?
so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm doing well. Very busy at Web Summit, but doing very well.
Amazing.
Lots of
Amazing.
energy here.
Yeah, like lots of energy here today. Perfect. Tell me more about your company. You are a mission-led company and you have an authentic story, which I want my audience to hear directly from you.
We are a technology group. We combine technologies, innovation, the power of community, and human touch. So I began alone as a one-woman show, they like to say, with a recruiting technology, aiming at tech recruiting
Mm-hmm.
back 2021. And today we are a group of 17 people. We render services to various companies around Europe. And now we are not only a service line with IT recruiting, but we decided also to go into a product line. And we have IVA, which
Mm-hmm.
also belongs to our group, which are AI virtual assistants. So began back 21, one woman show. I saw an opportunity, made combinations of technology with human touch. And now we are a group of 17 people and growing.
That's amazing. That's like in 4 years, right? Almost 4 years.
Yes,
That's
4 years.
amazing. And I love the fact when you said like one woman show. Like what could be better than that? All right, then tell me, how did you got the idea? I understand you saw the opportunity, but what is the idea? What kind of a problem were you trying to resolve?
All right. I think my initial idea, to be very transparent, was to retire. I
Okay.
wanted to retire.
Perfect.
I wanted to retire at 55, 56. But then I was in the middle of a pandemic,
Mhm.
and I started working for a very large company in Portugal who wanted to hire people. And I treated them, and it comes to the human touch. I treated them the way I like to be treated by customers. I always replied. I always gave them alternatives. I did everything that I like to do when I'm treated. And they loved the approach.
Mm.
So I said, oh, hello, I have an opportunity here. So I decided to bring the idea of the recruiting into the company I was working for. My director said, no, not my business. I say, okay, goodbye. I'm going and I'm building my own company.
Yeah.
So that's how I started from beginning. But then I thought, okay, human touch is wonderful, but I need more. So then I went searching for the technology and I brought in the technology. And to make it even boost faster, we started working on communities, especially looking at the social side of the communities. So today we render many services to community free of charge, helping them boost their career, and at the same time they help us boost our opportunities. So it's a
Yeah.
win-win work we have with communities. So I love working with communities. I help them, they help me.
Yeah, I love that. I can, feel the mission. I don't understand your mission, but I feel it. I'm really all about people, about keeping in touch with people. But we also have to remember that there are tools that can help us, digitalize that a little bit more. So you mentioned that you have a couple of products within your company, right? Tell me more about them and how they're different.
Okay, so one of the biggest pillar we have are the technologies.
Yes.
So the technologies with the recruiting, they will help us to recruit. So they'll hunt people, they'll match CVs, they'll do behavioral tests, they will place advertisements. So everything you can imagine that technology can do, they are done by technology with us. So we have AI, ChatGPTs, bots, everything you can imagine. And then we come with the human touch. That's the recruiting part. So what we did now with the new product line, we took all these technologies that we've been working for the past 4 years and decided to support small and medium companies. So we took all of these, we are breaking them into virtual assistants, and That's where comes IVA, AI virtual assistants, and we made an ecosystem of virtual assistants that companies, especially the small companies, they can buy, they can use as their assistants, especially for time-consuming work. So there's an assistant to help you recruit. There's a financial assistant to help you change your Excel into BI. There are many assistants for repetitive work. So this is the idea to help small and medium companies that sometimes do not know how to automate,
Yeah.
or the solutions are too big for them.
Yeah.
So this is where we
Yeah.
come in for looking at the SMEs, the small and
SMEs.
medium companies.
Perfect. Amazing. That's amazing. And what was the biggest challenge? Let's say that's our topic for today. I know there are many challenges. I come from a startup as well, but what is the biggest challenge, the biggest nut to crack?
It's really funny. We are in a very tech environment. Everything is tech, everything is AI, everything is technology. But at the end of the day, for me or for us, the biggest challenge is looking at soft skills, is looking at the power skills, is looking at people. So a lot of people say, and it's still true, people are hired by the hard and sent away and fired by the soft.
Yeah.
But that is still our biggest pain points. So we've been trying to combine some technologies to help us or improve our human touch to ensure that people are happy where they are. And when you look at technologies, you have very young people, and you also have older people like me. I'm going to be 60 next week. I've worked with technologies that no one ever knew. And we have young people that have it's a combination. So for me, the soft skills, the power skills, and all this with cultural fit is the biggest challenge we have.
It is.
It's this combination of power skills.
Yeah. And how do you find the solution to it? Because I cannot agree more with you. This is something that we felt as well. Hiring people because of attitude or cultural fit later on the stage is far more important than their experience, their long CVs, and the pitch that people give you. So how have you found the solution for this challenge?
Well, I must say I haven't found a solution, but we are aiming, we're trying every day to improve what we do. So we combine some technologies. We do that. So we have a cultural fit, behavioral fit done by AI, where a person will answer questions, and from the answer, the AI will give us a first idea of what sort of person you are.
Yeah.
And now we are looking at also at technologies to do matching with the cultural fit. But I think beyond all that, we need to look eye to eye.
Eye to eye.
We need to look eye to eye and see your face and understand your feeling. And sometimes it's better, and we do that, to say, look, this person is amazing technically, but she will not fit into your culture. I'm so sorry, don't hire her.
Yeah.
Which for me, it's terrible to say because I live on this.
Yeah.
Don't hire her because I am sure she's not going to be happy. So it's not, we don't only look at the company, we also look at the person. Because that's where we are trying every day to find, when I say technologies, I don't mean only hard technologies. I also mean soft technologies to be able to understand. Sometimes people don't even know. You ask companies, what is your culture? They have
don't
no
know,
idea.
right? Yeah.
Or you ask the person, what type of environment would you like to work? Sometimes they understand that they say, but no, don't worry, I'm going to fit. I know you may fit for 1 year, but after a while, you're going to be an unhappy person.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
We don't have the final solution, but we are trying every day to improve. That I can assure you.
Love that. So your customers are actually the employers, but also the people, the talent, right?
Exactly.
You need to make sure that the talent also finds the right company, which I really love. And you mentioned something very deep. You mentioned to be happy, right? sometimes we forget
Yeah.
that it's important to be happy at life. And usually when people ask you, do you get the question like, how do you find work-life balance? All of us do that. And I'm like, what is that? It's like I live while I work. It's not like I'm pausing my life.
It's
But
true.
what does it mean for you to be happy? How do you measure when somebody is happy? And even for you that you are happy at work, the burnout, being a founder, especially since you started alone, right? I imagine at the beginning you had to do everything, right?
I mean, I can tell you, I mean, as a recruiting company, sometimes, most of the time, the tech talent that we hire is placed in the final client.
Mm-hmm.
So our access to this person is not that much. But I'll tell you how we do with our own talents. We have, as I mentioned earlier, we
Yeah.
have today 17 people
Yeah.
working for us in the whole administration. We try to be as lean and as no hierarchy possible.
What does that mean, non-hierarchy possible?
Everyone has a word in our
Okay.
company.
Okay.
Obviously, it's true. At the end of the day, it's my word. So even if we have to change, and this has happened,
Mm-hmm.
the color of the I that goes into the name, we make up, a poll of, ideas within the company, and everyone will say what they think. And this is what we've had a example of a person that is now working with Iva, and I knew he was not happy. He went through marketing, he went through sales. I knew the potential, and I could see he was not happy. One day he came to my house and he said, Rosane, I'm not happy. I said, I know you're not happy. He said, this is what I want to do. And I said, okay, so here, I have this problem. Solve this problem for me, and if you do, we are going to open a line of business. And he's transformed himself, and we open a new line of business.
Yeah.
So what we do, we try to give everyone voice. That's what we do in the company, and it makes people feel good. And you have to feel good, because I think one of the words that I love is resilience. You have to be resilient.
You have to.
You do, because sometimes you go to sleep and you said, God, okay, I have to wake up tomorrow morning. Hope so, I do. But tomorrow morning, you need to have full power again. And sometimes it's really difficult. So we try to give people word. We like to empower people in my company. That's what we do, to try to make people happy.
That's amazing. And I guess the way you described it, it's like giving them full autonomy over what they need to achieve. And there is no something that is more powerful than giving someone autonomy on what they need to do. So
At the same time, obviously, there has to be results.
yeah.
If you have a problem, there's no worries. Come back. Let's try to solve the problem again. If you fail, no worries. You may fail once, twice, third time. Okay, let's sit down and understand.
And discuss.
So we empower, but you also need to have the responsibility and give back the results. And people, they work well with the power. They will learn, they will run after, because they know that they have the power. I think they even feel more obliged, more responsible.
More responsible,
for the result.
Yeah.
Because they know it's not my result, the company's result is our result.
Yeah.
And this is the way we like to run our company.
It's a team result, exactly.
Yes.
And you've been speaking a lot about soft skills, which I also highly value, empathy as well, and trust. I'm just wondering, how do you measure? Well, you obviously invest a lot in the soft skills in your team. How do you measure the return of investment there?
Well, that's a good, interesting question. Sometimes the return of investment does not even come with money. Most of the time, it doesn't come with money, but I think it comes with the responsibility. Like yesterday, we had we were with Iva here, and the team stayed until 5 in the morning working on the final details so we could show our SaaS platform. And I think that's the return. But whenever they say, Rosane, I need to take the day off because I have a problem, no worries. I mean, you don't have the time to come to work. You don't have the time to leave work. We want results.
Yeah.
So the measure, I think, is when we all hold hands and say, okay, let's jump off this building, because I can assure you that we are going to be okay at the end. And they all come together. And I think that's the idea of the team. And I think that's how I measure everyone working together.
Everyone working together. It's very impactful, I have to say. It's very impactful when you have created a team who knows what they're doing and why they're doing it. I think that's the formula. And your team is you started in Brazil, right?
No, I started in Portugal.
In Portugal,
Yes.
okay. And is the team like fully Portuguese, or do you have like a diverse team? How's
We
it?
have diversity. We
Okay.
have Portuguese, Brazilian. We have people from Angola.
Okay.
So all of them are Portuguese speakers.
Speaking, yeah.
Everyone 100% remote. We have people in Brazil, Brasilia, São Paulo, and in Portugal from north to south of Portugal. We have an office. No one hardly goes to the office. So now we have offices. We hire flexible office around Portugal. So whenever we want to meet, we'll go to one of these flexible offices. So people in Brazil, in Portugal, 100% remote.
Perfect. And what is the next market that you are thinking of
Okay.
going?
We want to expand more into Brazil because
Okay.
it's an extremely large
It is,
market.
yes.
And we already have an office in Brazil, and we want to expand. Now we hired another person in Brazil only for that business developer. We are very small in Spain, and we want to expand into Spain and possibly into Germany and Holland, because they have more the culture of remote.
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk about remote work, the pool of talents expand a lot. Because if people wish to have only talents in large cities like Lisbon and Porto, then everyone fighting for the same talents.
Yes, true.
So we need to open. So when we open to remote work, then with technology, we go anywhere in the world.
Exactly. It's borderless.
It's borderless.
And I think
exactly.
companies should use it as a strategic advantage, right?
And the diversity only
Exactly.
brings value when you have
Yes.
diversity.
Yes.
You
and
know,
have
the power of
diversity.
the diversity is amazing, from culture, from age, from gender. I mean, doesn't matter, but the power of the diversity is amazing.
I can completely agree with you. I was actually in Brazil just about 2 weeks ago, and I've learned that whatever you do, you have to do it locally in a way. You have to put yourself out there and see what the market needs from a local perspective. They call it tropicalization. I love the term, and I'm like, yes, you guys, this is so true. But then, do you think companies need to actually hire local people to learn the local language, or if there are other mechanisms they can use?
I think for every rule there are exceptions, obviously. But when we talk about Brazilians or Portuguese, this tropicalization will take you up to a point. I believe that, again, when we talk about diversity, I believe that diversity is the key. Obviously, one of the things the Brazilians learned when they come to Portugal. The Portuguese, like most European, are very objective.
Yes.
They go straight to the point.
Yes.
Brazilians know. We like to talk about, so it comes to a Monday meeting. The Brazilians, they'll talk about the weekend. What you did, if you had a barbecue, how was the football game? Did your team win? Oh, I saw my team won. They'll spend 10, 15 minutes talking about the weekend. The Portuguese know. Starts at 9. 9, it starts sharp. So when we do the onboarding process, when we bring people to Portugal or they start working to Portugal, we say, look, there are culture that you must fit.
Yeah.
So come on Monday, have all your objectives ready to say, if your leader asks you how your weekend was, you say the weekend was great, thank you so much. Otherwise, don't be angry if now the person hardly says, good morning, tell me, what did you do? Blah, blah, blah. That's the way it goes. So sometimes there are people that like it. There are people that don't adapt. Sorry.
Yeah.
But there are the rules. So there are customizations or tropicalizations that can be done. Some of them, obviously, if you don't fit, go and look for another job or another
Yeah.
country because you will not fit.
Yeah. Adaptability, it's very, very important, as you rightly said. I had this feedback when I was there, you have to smile more. And I'm like, okay, I'll take that into
It's
consideration.
true. It's true.
Yeah.
We Brazilians, we love smiling.
Yeah.
And I believe, if you go into my LinkedIn, there are many things on smile. I believe immensely in the power of a smile.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. It's an icebreaker. For whatever you do, it's a beautiful icebreaker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Amazing. I really love what you do. And not just what you do, but the way you do it and the way you talk about it. I think the ambition and the mission, it's still there. I can see it, I can feel it. If you have to give an advice to somebody, an entrepreneur, because as you rightly said at the beginning, you started this alone and now you have a team and still same passion, same mission. What would be, in 3 words or a sentence, what is the key to successfully scaling a company?
Well, I would say never give up. Because, as I mentioned earlier, to be resilient in this market is really key. When I first began, I had everything that wouldn't work: woman, technology. I'm a foreigner. I'm Portuguese Brazilian, but I open my mouth. I'm a foreigner. And the age. So you have a combination in this startup world that you don't find very often.
Yeah.
But I said, God, if you don't want to work with me, you're going to lose.
Yeah, you're
because
gonna
I'm
lose.
good.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I'm whatever, my nose up. No, I know what I'm doing, and we know we do it well, and we learn every day. So I believe in resiliency, really be resilient and learn. We learn every day, and every day I learn from my team. And this is the beauty and the power, and I think this brings happiness to everyone.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you very much. Look, you guys, what I've remembered from this episode is that you don't give up, be resilient, and learn every day. Thank you so much. It's
Thank
an
you so much for
authentic
having me.
story, really. Thank you very much for your
Thank
time.
you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Go global, not nuts.